How you doing, everybody? It is your guy Tazz Angel here with more car talk, good conversation you can ride to, and for the second consecutive episode, we're not in the car. um, the reason why today is because me and my family have gone out to just have some time together. So I don't have either one of my vehicles, nor are we at home, but we're still making content. So I just want to first off start like I always do and thank my sponsors, um, thank my supporters, the people who like, comment, share, subscribe. It is free, it doesn't cost you a thing. But I just want to leave with my thank yous as always, because without you all helping support this channel and helping it grow, the voice that I have and that I'm trying to spread wouldn't get there. So I appreciate you guys for everything that you do, from the donations to the sharing, the word of mouth, all of that. I appreciate y'all. To the first sponsor we have Lone Star Platinum Auto Glass, formerly Stephen Johnson Windshield Repair. It is a full service windshield repair service where they are mobile and will come to you to do the repair for you. They fix rock chips as well as cracks in your windshields. Preferably the cracks to be shorter than 6 inches in length. If it is longer than that, then we can work on it. They can work on it, but there's a higher likeliness of the crack spreading afterwards, so that has to be discussed before anything goes forward. But the number to contact them is 940-539-5912. Texts are preferred to help keep track of names, times, and addresses, because those things can get muddied up during just phone calls and people hearing it. So for traceability purposes, it's preferred that text messages are done. Again, that number is 940-539-5912. Now, today is May the 8th, so it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and all the single fathers who are having to do it on their own, because that's the thing too. We hear that the other side of that more so on Father's Day, but we want to keep both of those positions in high regard, because they're respectively they're required for the growth and the advancement of our community. You gotta see what labels are. But for us to continue moving forward as people, it all starts with the parents. Today's topic is going to be realistic over idealistic. And the way I got here, or the way I got to this topic and the way of thinking, is by having many conversations with different people, a lot of self-meditation, just sitting in solitude, thinking, being alone with my thoughts. It seems that a large group of people nowadays try to make an idealistic situation seem realistic. It's not always the case, and it's very important to be able to differentiate when it is and when it's not, because if you aren't able to separate those, then it can get really, really difficult to make long-term decisions. Because one of my philosophies are emotions have no place in long-term decision making. And the reason why I say that is very simple. Emotions are fickle, which is why humans are fickle, because we have them. Whether we want them or not, they're there. That's reality, right? So, idealistically, sometimes we can just like flip on the off switch, because all of us have, just think about it. When was the last time you were overwhelmed or disappointed or felt betrayed? Any of those things, if you could shut that feeling off for a certain amount of time to be able to prepare for it, would you? Now, some people would say, no, I don't want to deal with it all in real time. And, just let what happens happen. That could be a philosophy as well, and that's okay. It's always okay to disagree, as long as it's respectfully. But always okay to disagree. But I believe a lot of people would like to be able to control when they had to deal with it. But that's idealistic. It's not real. It's not reality. If we're at our jobs and we get a phone call with some bad news, and we can't leave work for it, we just got to keep working and process that news at the same time. Whereas if you had that switch, you could turn it off real quick, finish your day at work. Then when you get home, you get relaxed, maybe get you a little glass of wine to kind of wind down. Wind down. Don't even worry about the bars. Just know they're there. You feel me? Don't even worry about them. But I want to wind down and then be like, okay, now I deal with it. And maybe maybe it's only me out of the 7+ billion on Earth. Maybe it's only me who think that way. I don't believe so, but maybe, right? So when we're making plans, and this is actually, I'll let you guys know, I'm actually kind of merging 2 topics that I've had into one message, because this one, as I said, is being realistic over idealistic. And the other one that I'm merging into this, it was going to be a separate video, but I'm going to put them together. It was called Goals Are for Action, Not for Fantasy. So the reason why those two intertwine to me is because many of the times when we say, man, I would love to do this, man, it's my life's dream, dude. Man, it's my dream. I've always wanted to do this. So when we say those things, most of the time we're still able to do it. When we say, man, I wish I would have, we still could. But because we believe that an outcome like that can only be a fantasy for us, we don't actually put forth effort to really and truly attain it. And I say we because I'm guilty of it. One of the things that I've wanted to do for a very long time, until since I was a child, is get into voice acting. Yeah, I would like to be an actor. I would more so love to be a voice actor, because from a child watching cartoons and movies, and then getting older and watching anime, like I start to pinpoint people. There's a guy named there's a character in the Dragon Ball series He was introduced in Dragon Ball Z, named Android 17. The man who plays his voice in the English dub also plays a character named Stein in an anime called Soul Eater. Now, if y'all don't know this, I'm a nerd. This is Jujutsu Kaisen right here. Like, if y'all don't know that by now, I'm a nerd. Okay, I just look like this, but I'm a nerd. But it's fun for me. I enjoy the process of hearing a person, like if I'm introduced to a new character, like I start watching a brand new, and well, not brand new anime, it's new to me. I start watching it, and I hear some voice that's similar. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that voice, I know that person. When I go through the process of sitting and thinking, who does that sound like? Okay, this word sounds like. I go through that and I'm like, oh, it was the same dude who played me. I would love for people to be able to do that with me. For me to voice a character on an anime over here, and then because I execute so well over there, I get asked to play another character over here, and the fans of these shows can say, wait a minute, I know that voice. This guy played. Wait a minute, is that? Then they Google it. What's his name? Wait, this Tazz Angel from the podcast? Yo! Or Tazz Angel from the gaming channel, Gaming with Tazz on YouTube? Yo! Like, to be able to place those together, I like how I ended both of them with yo. Don't even worry about it. But to be able to place those together is a dream for me. The problem is, I have not put in enough time to search for dubbing companies, like companies where they do the voiceovers for the different anime or the different movies or cartoons, you know, the Disney, Pixar. We have countless opportunities, but I haven't put forth enough time because I still see it as a fantasy. So when I say we, I mean we. You know, whenever I'm speaking to you all, I never want it to seem as if I'm like telling you, all right, I got all the answers. Come listen to me. Let me tell you how to pass the test of life. Nah. What I'm doing, what my goal is to give what experience and knowledge I do have, wisdom that I do have, and give some of my ideas along the way. And if those ideas change, then I'll go back and I'll rectify that, or I'll revise that. You know, I'll say, well, you know, over here I thought this, but I kind of believe this now, because we're human. Emotions are fickle, and information can change your perspective, right? So there are times where we may have a certain thought process that may have withstood the test of time for 15 years. But then something happens, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. This is what it really was, or this is what it really is. And now I no longer feel that way. Now I kind of want to go this way. I want to go down this path. So information can change perspective. Yeah, information can change perspective. I was wondering why I was hearing some noise, but information can change perspective, right? So at no point do I want to ever be, do I think it's wise to be so close-minded that we believe that we have the final answer to everything. The types of conversation I prefer to have is first just a cohesive conversation, right? But if a disagreement comes along, I always prefer to have a debate over an argument. So the difference is, in a debate, I have these points and perspectives that I believe, yet I am also open to the fact that I could be wrong, and I'm going to listen to your points to attain the validity in them, or help you see how they are invalid. I don't believe invalidity is a word, so that's why I changed the tense. But um, that's what I prefer. If an agreement, I'm sorry, if a disagreement is afoot, right? Um, but sometimes we'll get to the point where we're going to argue. So what I like to do is, before I get there, I prefer to disengage, right? And then come back to the conversation when the participants are at a cooler stage. But when you have an argument, the difference is, because I said what a debate is, the difference between a debate and an argument is, when you're having an argument, it's, these are my points. I don't care what you're saying. You should listen to me, accept my points, or just be quiet, basically. And at that point, no progress can be made on either side. Because once we have closed off the possibility that we're wrong, once we've closed off the possibility that we can be mistaken, we have chosen at the same time to remain stagnant and not grow and not progress as a person. Whenever we do that, that's the decision we're making. And again, like I was saying earlier, that directly goes against the progress of us. So to say, no, I know what to do here, I know what to do there, but this is it, this is the way, it could make us take about 5 years before we find out, oh, there's a better way. Because one of the things that I like to tell people is the last thing you can do, or the last thing you can give someone who believes they have an answer, is another answer. Right now, if someone walked up to you and said, hey, did you know that 2 + 2 = 5? I don't care how much they talk to you, they could not convince you of that, right? Because you already have the answer of 2 + 2 being 4. So no matter how much they lobby and talk and, well, no, check this out, I looked this up, no matter how much of that they do, you will not be swayed to believe that 2 + 2 is 5, because you already have the answer that it's 4. So at that point, if that continues, it'll be an argument instead of a debate. You see the difference? So to get back to the reality and the fantasy and goals and stuff, for me to progress in that, I have to do, and that's what I intend to do as well this week, is instead of going to sleep earlier than I need to, or playing a game to just pass time, or playing games on my phone, or scrolling social media for hours, instead of just wasting time this week, before, today is May the 8th, before May the 16th, I will have looked into how to get involved in voice acting. I don't want to say at least 3 times, because I could look into it the first time and then that be enough. It could just open all the gates and I just start making moves. But what I'll say is this: before May 15th, I will make a post on my Instagram, Tazz the Angel, TAZZ_DA_ANGEL. Before May 15th, I will make a post telling you all what I discovered while looking up dubbing companies around where I live. That's my declaration to you all. Because just like I told you all with the weight, when I make that declaration and say it out loud and say it where other people can hold me accountable, it does exactly that, holds me accountable. So one of the things that I struggle with, or I have issues with at times, is procrastinating. I'll know I need to do something. I'll know I want to do something. I'm like, well, I'll do it in 5 more minutes. Oh, well, I'll do it in 2 minutes. And that time just keeps getting pushed back into never, or too late. So I'm making that declaration to you all so I don't allow myself to keep doing that. Just like I didn't allow myself to keep doing that with the weight. Just keep saying, I should do. Because I declared it and I said it to people who can hold me accountable, I'm going to follow through, right? So what are some of the goals that you all have that you sit and think, man, I wish I could do, man, I would love to do? What are some of those things? And I want you to ask yourself a real, honest question. Can you still do it? And after you find the answer to that, if the answer is yes, the follow-up is, how do you attain that goal? How do you do it? Because, again, with perspective, a lot of times we'll think things like, I may have the line here from the hat, I hope not though, but with it, we'll think some stuff might be out of our league. Oh, it's too late, man. I can't do this anymore. I can't do that anymore. And then it'll make us think of, man, I can't do that. But if we think instead, how can I do that? It'll give us a completely different path to follow down. Because when we have the path of, I can't, that's final. You've already made your declaration. You've already decided your fate. You've already said, nope, it's too much for me. No, it's too good for me. I can't have something that nice. I can't have something that good. I can't do something that'll make me that happy. But says who? Who says you couldn't have your dream job? Who says you couldn't have your dream car? But the way we can attain those things, the way we can achieve those goals, is by realizing the dreams are for the awake, not for the sleep. Once I have that dream, I have to get up and go do something about it. Otherwise, I'll just remain dreaming. So what is it? Who is it? Where is it? That thing that you believe that your life would be better with. But you also believe that it could be too good for you. What is that thing that you believe is too good for you? What do you believe that is the thing that would make you too happy? Oh man, I can't have a job where I have hundreds of dollars pushed back. I talked to y'all about that in the previous podcast when I was talking about the I want to say it was the episode dealing with like business, where I was talking about the susus that were in place in 2020, and I had to wrestle with the thoughts. Man, you telling me if I do this, I can have a comma in my bank account, I can pay all of my bills and still have hundreds of dollars left chilling? It didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. Because at that point, I didn't believe that I was worthy of a comma in my bank account. I didn't believe I was worthy of one comma. And I don't believe that I'm the only person who had that mindset. Because we've all experienced life at some point. And sometimes if we don't deal with those experiences properly, they stick around longer than they should, and they can distort our vision, they can distort our views. What is it? Who is that person who you were like, man, I wish I could be with them. Man, I wish I had the courage to say something to them. I wish I had the courage to inbox them or finally tell them how I feel. I've been around them all the time for the last like 3, 4, 5 years. I wish I could tell them how I really felt. Who is that person for you? And what's actually stopping you? Now, if it's a legitimate reason, then it's a legitimate reason. If it's a legitimate reason that you can't get that job, then one thing you could possibly do is find another way to do it. Right? What I mean by that is, say your job say your job is, or your dream job is voiceover acting like me. For some wild reason, everyone turns you down. Well, go to one of your local middle school or high school and try to be like a sports commentator and talk during the games. Learn about the game if you don't know it. Basketball, football, whatever. And use your voice for that. Use your voice for something else. Use your voice. Create the content. Like, find videos that you find entertaining and then do voiceovers to those and post them. Right? Because the companies that may have told you no, once they see you in action, they may be like, oh, wait a minute. He's on to something. She's on to something. So figure out a way to do it. Even if it's just some crazy reason why nobody will allow you to do it, figure out a way to do it in a different way. Right? But don't accept no unless you have to. Don't allow a casual no to be the final answer. Don't allow a no that came from not investing enough time to research, like I have. Enough time to research what you want to do. Don't allow that to be your final answer just because you haven't looked into it enough. Right? So, like I said, realistic over idealistic. Do you really have to go without that? Do you actually have to be without that person, that job, that vehicle? Do you really have to be without it? Or are you spending your money so flagrantly that you don't have the currency put back for you to get that car, but you've made enough, you just spent too much. See? So we have to look into ourselves and see and look for those things so we can improve. Because it's the only way that the world improves. Everything starts with one. The way to get to $1 million is first making $1. The way to walk in the mile is first taking one step. Everything starts with one. When are you going to make your one? Make today the day you make your one. Okay? I appreciate you all. I don't want to waste too much of your time today because, like I said, it is Mother's Day. So again, I'll say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and all the single fathers that are filling that space. For the grandmothers that are having to step in for the aunts and uncles that are having to step up for the friends who their friends may have lost their lives, so they're helping raise the children. For all the people who are doing that job, Happy Mother's Day to you. We appreciate you, we need you, and we thank you. And I thank you all for watching this episode of Car Talk with Tazz Angel with me. I'm going to ask you all again to please like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tazz the Angel Media, Tazz DAANGEL Media, MEDIA. Tazz the Angel Media, and my gaming channel, Gaming with Tazz. Again, Tazz, 2 Z's. So, like, comment, subscribe. It is free. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it sure does help me grow these channels. It sure does help me be able to make more consistent content with you all, because if we can get these pages monetized and start growing these communities, I can focus more on them and give not only more content but better content. But the support is a requirement for growth. It just is. Again, reality, right? So please like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your loved ones, tell your not so loved ones. Find one of the people you beefing with. Find one of my episodes that proves one of the points that you saying to them while y'all beefing. Send it to them out of spite. Hey, just share it. I thank you all. This has been Tazz Angel with Car Talk. Good conversation you can ride to. Y'all have a good one.